Hi, welcome back to Christine's Home Affairs. We're in the kitchen today. I've decided that I'm having a sewing free day. It's my 60th birthday. Yay me, I made it to 60. I've decided to make a cake. I'm not actually doing this one for myself. We're back at table tennis and I like to take something there for everybody to have a nibble on. So we're going to be making a poppy seed cake. So the first thing we want to do is grab some poppy seeds and soak them in a bowl with some milk. I've made this cake several times, and the last time I made it, I mistakenly put black sesame seeds in instead of my poppy seeds. So I do recommend double checking your labels before you pop your ingredients in the bowl. I ended up mixing poppy seeds and sesame seeds in the bowl together, so it wasn't an issue. Nobody even noticed that there were two different seeds in there. It was just my little secret. So what I've used is 1/3 of a cup of poppy seeds. I've placed them in my bowl. Then I need 3/4 of a cup of milk, and I'll let that soak for about an hour. This is just a 1/4 measuring cup. I'll put 3 of those in. If you don't like to use milk, you can use almond milk, soy milk, anything like that, whatever milk substitute you like to use. And we'll just leave that mixture to soak for about an hour. I will give that a mix around, and I will do that during the course of the next hour as well. And now we can get the other ingredients ready. Okay, I've come back an hour later. My poppy seed and milk mixture is brewing nicely, and I've had to duck over to the supermarket to buy some more flour because I didn't have enough. Always happens, doesn't it? So now we're ready to start putting all of our ingredients together. I've preheated the oven to a moderate temperature, which is about 180 degrees Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit. A little bit less if it's fan forced or if your oven runs a bit hot. But do test your cake during the later stages of your baking. The cake tin I'm using today is just going to be this rectangular one. It's about 5.5 inches that way and about 9.5 inches in length. Don't know what that is in centimetres. Let's start putting things together. I've got 1 cup of caster sugar here. If you don't have caster sugar or you don't even like sugar, you can use whatever substitute you normally like to use. I have used general white sugar before, and I've also used xylitol as well. This one's caster sugar, 1 cup straight into the mixing bowl, and I've softened 185 grams of salted butter, which is about 6.5 ounces. I generally use salted butter because most of the older recipes that I use all say to use butter and then add salt. I've just eliminated those 2 steps. I use salted butter all the time. So if it's not something you like, then go ahead and use your regular unsalted butter. So I've got 3 large eggs here. Crack them open and pop them in the sugar and butter mixture. Then we can take this over to the mixer and give it a good mix. Once I've done that, I'll add the poppy seed and milk mixture, and then I'll add the flour. So we need 2 cups of self-raising flour. The recipe tells you to sift it, but I'm a lazy cook. I don't sift anything. I've never had a lumpy cake unless it had nuts in it. So I don't sift, and they're still nice and airy anyway. We have 1 more ingredient to put in, which we might as well put in now. And that is vanilla extract. You can put vanilla sugar or vanilla essence. And you just need 2 teaspoons of that. I like vanilla, so if it's generous, then that's good. Let's go mix all this up. All right, let's get started. You wouldn't believe it. This mixer is absolutely brilliant, but all of a sudden I can smell something burning, so I'm going to have to stop and use a regular mixer. Don't know what's going on here. Looks like it's a job for Chris. Okay, found another mixer. I can keep going. Now that the butter, egg and sugar mixture is nice and creamy. I'm going to start adding in some of the self-raising flour. And I'll pop the milk and poppy seed mixture in. And before I mix it again with a beater, I'm just going to mix it by hand, otherwise I'll end up with flour and milk all over the place. I'll pop the rest of the flour in. And then start mixing again. Get rid of any excess flour that's on the side, mix it all through, and then we can pop this into our cake tin. I've just used an olive oil spray in my cake tin and lined it with some baking paper or parchment paper, and now we can put the mixture in. Even it out. And pop it in the oven for an hour. As I mentioned earlier, mine's at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit. I've got the fan on and I've just popped it on the top shelf. We'll pop it in the oven for an hour and I'll pop skewer in there. If that comes out clean, then I'll know the cake's ready. I think I can go and have a nana nap now. Okay, it's been an hour and that's looking pretty good. Pop a skewer in and that's come out nice and clean, so it's done. Here you oh, nearly dropped it. All right, there we go. I will leave this in the tin for a few minutes to cool down. Once that's cooled to pick up, I will turn it out onto a wire rack and I'll leave it to cool down. Okay, the cake is cool enough that I can pick it up, so it's now right for me to turn out. I'll remove the baking paper. And I will leave that to cool. All right, the cake has cooled down enough that we can try it. I messaged Chris and before I'd even...
Come here. Coco, there's cake.
And almost before I'd hit send, he was already running down the hallway, running down the boardwalk to get cake.
No, I like cake. What can I say?
Yeah.
What sort is it?
This is not a sesame seed cake. It's a poppy seed cake.
Okay.
Because last time you didn't know that you had some sesame seeds in your poppy seeds.
They look like ants. So as long as the seeds don't have legs, we're good.
So there's lots of little black seeds in the cake. I was surprised how many people actually tried it last time because I had no idea what was in there. Do you want the end bit or
Sure,
do you,
no, cut that
do you
in
want the
half.
whole thing?
Yeah, I will, but give me 2 bits. So just out of the oven?
Well, it's still warm.
Yeah, beautiful. Am I taste testing?
Yes.
The dog's watching. That's good.
And this cake I can give to Coco because there's no poisonous things in there. I know we don't want her up on the bench. All right, we're going to let... Oh, this is Chris's fault. Do you want some cake? Okay. Good girl.
Mm-hmm. Good manners, Coco.
Okay.
2 bits.
She's been digging. All right, hop down. Okay,
nice
you didn't see that.
That's good cake.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, go. You
Bye.
take that. Share that with the dog. I do apologise for the dog. She's not allowed on the kitchen bench. We're going to blame Chris for that. Anyway, we have one really nice poppy seed cake. It does make a really nice afternoon tea cake. Have it with a cuppa or even when you're having a break in between your sporting events. I'm going to go now and wallow in self-pity because I'm such an old woman. I think at the ripe old age of 60, I could do whatever I like. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I shall catch you next time. Bye for now. I do just want to mention this isn't my own recipe. When Chris and I were cleaning out a house some time back, I found a cookbook there. It's from an old Woman's Weekly Cakes and Recipes book. So the recipe is from that.